guest was just 20 when he became one of the most notorious lead singers in music history. These days, he's more into the animal wildlife than rock and roll. But what are the 5 songs that make up the soundtrack to his life? Let's find out as the Orange Playlist welcomes the one and only John Lydon.
Spent 4 months in a coma, lost my memory and started all over again. You could take the other skedaberous route and, you know, become a drug dealer. The world had become really stale and out, smack of like something original.
I am an anti-coaster. I am an anarcho-coaster.
John, thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, for being on the Orange Playlist. It is a delight and pleasure to have you here.
Well, thank you for the backdrop.
You're really into your nature, aren't you?
Well, I am at the moment, aren't I?
We're well engrossed.
If you could call
in it.
this nature, I mean, it's in a building, it has a roof. Look up.
Oh, we're so pretty, oh, so pretty. We're big.
John, I want to take you back into your past. What was your childhood like?
Awful. Ill most of the time, and not much has improved since. I'm weak, I'm anemic, epileptic. At the moment, my shoulder's killing me. I'm just not very well all round. And some say I'm a bit silly in the head.
What sort of a kid were you?
Quiet, very quiet, shy, nervy. I soon grew out of that, and I think it was the nuns and their torturous attitudes that changed that. I'm left-handed, and so the order of the day was to just bash your knuckles with a ruler, because it was a sign of the devil.
How old were you when all that was happening?
That was 5, 6, and at 7 I had meningitis and spent 4 months in a coma, came out of hospital after a year, lost my memory and started all over again. I think the only thing that actually I remembered when I came out of hospital was that I was left-handed. So, you know, I mean, there was some resistance going on there. There must have been. And I've stayed left-handed ever since.
What sort of music were you around as a child?
My parents had very, they called it Catholic taste, which means wide and varied. From a religion that's very much the opposite. The only thing I didn't take from my parents, really, music-wise, was the Beatles. That was too much for me. I thought that was just a bit dull.
What was the first song you actually bought?
Oh, God. Kenny Rogers. Yeah.
No way.
Ruby, don't take your love to town. Oh, Ruby.
Don't take your love to town.
There's a reason I bought it too. It's because I like the colour of the cover. It was like a maroon. I thought that's really good. It goes well with the blue.
God save the Queen, the fascist regime.
When did he come out of you?
Who?
Johnny Rotten.
Well, the teenage years and the repression and the lack of a future and no prospects. I mean, it was the dull. That's all you really had going for you. Or you could take the other skedaberous routes and, you know, become a drug dealer. Because, frankly, how else do you make money on a working-class estate? Sort of fell into the Sex Pistols because they sort of noticed that I looked a bit different and acted a bit different. I had an I Hate Pink Floyd T-shirt. You know, I mean, that was a sign of rebellion then. How soft were we? Because it was always Catholic schools, you see, the idea of singing was not on because they would then force you into the choir and you'd have to do all that nonsense at church on Sunday. I suppose most of my early life spent learning how not to sing. And I made a fortune at it later. It's not bad, is it?
Now, your past track, John, tell me about it.
I didn't understand your quizzes on this, past, present, whatever. So it's a juxtaposition of songs that I like.
That's
and by
correct.
the way, don't judge me on it because tomorrow morning I might hate them all.
You've gone for the Bee Gees.
Oh, love the Bee Gees.
New York mining disaster.
Fantastic song. Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? Can you tell me what it's like on the outside?
I keep straining my ears to hear a sound. Maybe someone is digging underground. Or have they given up and all gone home to bed? thinking those who once existed must be dead. Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones?
All the early Bee Gees singles, the lyrics are bizarre. All right? You know, I know you had, like, the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's out there, but the Bee Gees had these vocal techniques I just adored.
John, tell me about your days in the Pistols, because
Well, there weren't many of them, was there? I mean, I think they lasted about 1 year. But my God, what a year.
It's an unlimited supply, and there is no reason why.
You affected so many people's life. Why do you think
I think
that
we
is?
just told the truth. You know, went to high hell with a lot of you for thinking, oh, they can't sing, they can't play. Well, who the hell's to tell me, any different?
It was wonderful.
No, cold.
People loved me. They threw flowers.
Could you feel the level of hysteria around the band at the time?
The biggest danger at the time would be gangs of we love our Queen types. And, you'd have to literally fight your way around the streets. And at the same time, you have to bunk on the subway or the buses because you didn't have any money. There's no cash profit in it. There's no great, huge record sales, just all this notoriety. So there's some education in life. It makes you hard, but in the right way. Not hard showing off how big and tough you are and beating people up. Hard that you're better than that, right? You can fight the shitstorm.
What do you make of the punk movement today?
Do you know what? Who'd be the closest new punk band? The ones that look nothing like or sound like.
What, like a boy band or something, Johnny?
Yeah, well, that would be closer to being punk than actually dressing up as one.
Don't look back into the sun, you cast your plans, but you're on the run.
What do you make of someone like Pete Doherty?
He's gone and got himself caught up in this nonsense of magazine culture. Don't let them write that stuff about you, and don't be so openly stupid.
Do you see any similarities in the self-destructive behaviour that he's sort of got himself into to what
It's
Sid did?
a route, isn't it? It's a trade route. That's all. It just seems to be that that's a manufactured way of merchandising yourself. Punk went wrong for me because there's too many people that want it to all look the same. You can't just follow fashions. My God, I have created some trends, haven't I?
Yeah.
Oh, there's goldfish. I want to have a look at them.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one way.
I didn't think that so many people would be watching it on telly. Came back to England to suddenly be popular in just about the same level as I was amazingly unpopular. From the Sex Pistols thing. Infamous to famous.
Tell me about your present track, John. Have you got one?
All right, one of my own, In the Sun. So it's a cheery little record and gave up the use of instruments and started actually just threw an accordion down the staircase and the sound was fantastic. You can make music out of just about anything.
I miss the car park, I miss the concrete, I miss the city, I miss the rain and sleet. I want my climate, I want remote control, plenty of water in every single hole. I'm never happy with what surrounds me. I like the choices.
You are such a maverick with music.
I don't mean to be, it's just the way I am. And I couldn't care less if I was number one or number 1 billion minus 10. It's not like that. I've never seen myself in this world as competing with another human being. All right? My philosophy is no war, period. The end. Don't need it.
Are you quite spiritual, John?
Only in that I love medieval church music and, of course, Spirit in the Sky, which is a great record. But that's all we need. But don't be looking at a God to come and save you. Save yourself.
John, what is punk to you?
Stupid name, ugly name. I never liked it. Never. Particularly when I looked up the word in the dictionary and it's like Mr. Big's plaything in prison. That ain't me. Music shouldn't have categories. It meets all your moods and your needs in many, many ways. This is the best form of art.
Tell me about John Peel.
the early days, I mean, he played nothing of ours. He caught on way late. Radio really ignored everything decent at the time. They set up their own cosy situations and they stuck with themselves, and they would not open the door for the rest of us. So to me, that whole hippie 60s freedom man was the most negative yet. The world had become really stale, and ouch, smack of like something original is exactly what it needed. It just so happened that, you know, this is one of the ugly faces that was there at the time.
I'm going to take you into your future track. It's a track by yourself, John.
Oh, well then I should